Welcome back to Willow Creek Homestead. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in, and welcome back to part 2 of my DIY homemade gift series. Now, I had a huge list of different gift ideas and things that I wanted to do with you guys today that I was going to go shopping for and get a bunch of extra stuff. But they started framing our new house this past week. So my husband and I basically every night after work had to go down and meet contractors and do a whole bunch of things. So I do have some extra gift ideas that I will share with you guys very soon. But for today, we are going to be doing the brownie mix in a jar. I was able to get some extra cocoa powder for us to do that, so I will show you those. And then I also have some peach infused vodka that has been sitting on my shelf for about 3 weeks that I'm going to give out this holiday season. And then I also have some homemade chili crisps that I made a couple months ago. That is fantastic. And I have several members in my family that really love spicy things. So I thought that that would be a good gift to hand out to a couple people as a Christmas gift. So I always try to make homemade gifts every year for Christmas. It's super easy, super convenient. And another thing that I try to do is if I have extra pantry staples, I also try to gift those out. So maybe you made a little bit too much of something during your canning processes this summer or this fall, and you have way too many of them and you just know you're not going to be able to get through them. This is the perfect time to gift those out to friends and family. So we are going to go ahead and do all the things that I mentioned. And then I'm also going to grab a couple things from my pantry and get those decorated on top with you guys as well and hand those out as a homemade gift. So I hope this video brings you some inspiration. It is not too late to do any of the things that I will be mentioning throughout the video. If you would like to show your friends and family you love them with some homemade, handmade goodies for Christmas. So first and foremost, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the peach infused vodka. Now, you still have time to make this if you would like. It probably will not be as potent as mine have been because they have been sitting for about 3 months. But if you have, any extra fruit that you would like to use, you could use blueberries, peaches, apples, blackberries, raspberries. It does not matter. If you have some vodka, you can make a fruit-infused vodka and hand it out for Christmas. So if you started it and let it sit for about 3 weeks, you could still do that as a Christmas gift. You can also do like rums. You could do infused apple rum. You can get really, really creative with it. But basically all I did was I cut up fresh peaches that I got from the farmer's market and I put vodka over them entirely. And as you can see, some of them still have their orange color. Some of them have browned up a little bit, but they have been infusing for about 3 months. So I opened this and tried it yesterday before I knew I was going to jar it up with you guys today. And it is fantastic. I mean, it's strong, but the peach flavor in it is incredible. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bowl and I'm going to get a strainer and I'm going to start straining out all of these peaches. Now, I don't save the peaches. I guess I could probably eat 1 or 2 and have this video get pretty interesting, but I do not save the peaches normally. But now that I'm thinking about it, I could also do like 1 slice of a peach in the jars. Maybe I'll do that with like some of these ones that are a little bit more orange on the bottom. So that would be kind of a cool little decorative thing. We'll try that with 1 jar and see how it goes. But usually I don't save them. You are more than welcome to save them, but usually I just strain them and throw them away. So we'll try and save 1 in one of the jars and just see how that turns out. But basically all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna strain this and then we're gonna save the vodka and jar this up. Whew. Whew. That is strong. You might be able to get drunk just from smelling it. My God. Okay, so 1 jar down. Okay, so the bulk of my peaches are just brown and yucky looking. So if you did this in a shorter amount of time and your fruit, whatever fruit that may be, was a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, it would be cute to just leave a couple of them in the jar as you gift it away. Or you could even just make it before Christmas and give it to somebody and say, hey, keep this on your pantry shelf for 2 to 3 months and then they can open it themselves. So you could do it either way. However you want to do it before you hand it out would be totally fine. So then here is what that is looking like. And I don't know if you can tell on camera as like orange it is, but it has a beautiful, beautiful color to it. So then you can pick what size jars you would like these to go in. I think I am gonna do pint jars, but you could also use the 8-ounce jelly jars. You could use quart jars. It doesn't matter. Whatever size of jar you would like to gift it out in. And then I'm basically just gonna pour this in some of these jars. Now I'm probably only going to get about 2 of these filled up, which is totally fine because I only have a couple members of, oopsie, that's not gonna be. I take it back. I'm gonna do one or 2 of the jelly jars because then at least I could get, you know, a couple of them filled up. Okay, so it looked like I was gonna have a lot more in those 2 quarts, but I forgot all of the fruit takes up a lot of room. So I got 1 pint and 1 jelly jar of that peach infused vodka, and we're not canning this or anything, so you don't have to worry about the headspace. You can leave it to wherever you want it to be on the jar. But doesn't that look so pretty? I love the color of this and how it turned out. So I am just gonna gift them as is, but if you wanted to get really creative with it, you could also buy a cocktail glass and maybe find a recipe online for the type of infused fruit you've done. So like for me personally, if I wanted to find a recipe for peach infused vodka, you could also include the items to make the cocktail itself. I'm not gonna go all of that length, but you absolutely can. So now I'm just gonna use a rag and wipe the top of the rims of these and get some lids placed on the top of them. And I'm just gonna go ahead and reuse some of the old lids that I had sitting around. If you'd like to use new lids, feel free. It's just reusing them for things that you're gifting away is a little bit more convenient so you don't have to use brand new ones. And I will get a band put on those later whenever we go to decorate them. So I'm gonna go ahead and scooch these out of the way. I did have just a little bit left over that didn't fit. So I'll just stick this in my cabinet or something, and my husband and I can do little shots of peach vodka when we feel like it. So then the next thing I'm gonna go ahead and get in a jar is some of this homemade chili oil. Now, I can't remember if I have a long form YouTube video on this. If I do, I will link it above for you guys. But I know I made a short of it. So if you go back on my YouTube shorts, you can see exactly how this was made. Basically, I just dehydrated a bunch of hot peppers, garlic, onions, added some oil, and then cayenne powder, paprika, garlic seasonings, all kinds of stuff. And this is absolutely incredible. I love taking a couple scoops of this and making scrambled eggs with it. It's fantastic. You can add this to ramen noodles. You can add this to, you know, burgers, like if you're cooking them up in a pan. It's really, really good to just give anything that you're making an extra kick of heat. So I thought that this would be a really, really good Christmas gift as well. And I used my new dehydrator to make all this, but you definitely don't need a dehydrator to make this. You can put your oven on the lowest setting and dehydrate anything, and then you can make your homemade chili crisp. So don't get discouraged, because I see a lot of people saying, oh, I don't have a dehydrator, I can't do that. You have an oven, so you can dehydrate absolutely anything in an oven. That is what I used before I got my really nice dehydrator. So if you have different things and recipes that you want to make, definitely utilize your oven. Let me see if I can get you guys a close-up of that. Doesn't that look beautiful? This stuff is so incredible. I love it. So I'm just gonna take one of these smaller jelly jars and start getting this filled up in here. And then there is what that is looking like. It looks so pretty. My family is gonna love this. So next thing we are going to make is the homemade brownie mix. I went ahead and got my little notebook that I wrote the recipe down in. So for this, we need 3/4 cup cocoa powder, 1.5 cups of sugar, 1 cup flour, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And this one, we are not going to mix all of the ingredients together in a bowl. I will leave part 1 of this video up top. We originally were mixing things together for the cookie mixes, but for the brownie mix, we are basically just going to layer each level in the jar by itself. Now, I am going to go ahead and use some regular mouth jars for this. I used wide mouths for the cookie mix, but this jar is just one that I had saved from something, and I don't know what exactly would have come in this, but typically I only can with like Ball, Kerr, or Golden Harvest jars. I have tried to can with unlabeled jars in my pressure canner and they have busted previously. So I am not apt to use jars like this. So I am going to go ahead and use this because it'll be a good way to get it out of my pantry, because I know I'm not going to be able to can with it. And then the person can just keep it and use it for dry goods. Now, I am only going to be making one of the brownie mixes in the jar. Most of my family are cookie people. They're not so much brownie people. So I did go ahead and ask some individuals what they would prefer, and most everybody said cookies. So I have one person that I know who will appreciate the brownie mix. So I'm just going to go ahead and make up one jar of that instead of two. So we need 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. So I just have some Hershey's cocoa powder right here. And be careful because cocoa powder is incredibly messy to get out of the container. Okay, so here is 3/4 cup cocoa powder. Oh, did you just see that plume? Cocoa powder is not fun to work with. Okay, so again, you're just going to want to, I'm not going to use a spoon and push the cocoa powder down because it's so light and fluffy. Basically, you can just take your hand on the bottom and kind of get the line defined like that. So just do that as much as you can. You see how my day is going. Oh my goodness. By the grace of God, it did not knock over this jar. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm adding the sugar. And you do kind of want to add this slowly so that it doesn't mix with your cocoa powder. So just kind of try and add it as slowly and evenly as possible. And again, just kind of shake that around. Then we need 1 cup flour. And it says 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. So at the point where I've added the flour, I'm just going to go ahead and take a couple pinches of salt and add that to the top of the flour and just give that a good mix in that. And now that the flour is in it, because it does have a little bit of substance to it, I'm going to take my spoon and just start pushing down these edges as best as I can get it. It's kind of hard to get the cocoa powder like dust off the side, so it might not look as, well defined as maybe your cookies in a jar would, but that's totally okay. It's all going in a bowl to be mixed up anyway, so. And then lastly, I'm going to go ahead and add the chocolate chips to the top of this. And there is what that is looking like. I actually think that this looks really cute too. It's not as aesthetically pleasing as the cookies, but it's still really, really cute, and it's a great idea for Christmas. Okay, so I brought everything over to my table, and same as last time, we are going to get these jars decorated up. I grabbed some things down from the pantry. I have more that I'm gonna gift away, but just for the sake of the video, I grabbed some banana peppers, and then this is some beautiful pepper jelly that I canned not too long ago. There are still several things that I need to go through down there and kind of determine what needs to go as a Christmas gift and what needs to stay with me. However, these things I know for sure I have people in my family that will like them. So while I'm at it decorating these things, I'm gonna go ahead and get these decorated up as well. And if you watched my previous video, you know I kind of flopped with the labels. So I did go ahead and make just some little labels with pieces of paper, and I took scissors and kind of cut a decorative edge on them. I think my game plan for Christmas is to get like Christmas baskets and put all of my home canned goodies in, and then I will also incorporate these into the baskets somehow. Usually my husband takes care of all the men in the family. He will decorate baskets and do things for them. And then usually the girls I am mostly in charge of. So my goodie baskets usually contain home canned goodies with maybe like some personal care products or perfumes or, you know, face stuff or whatever the case may be. So I try to incorporate as much as I can in a basket for each individual person. And then some of the baked goodies will just go to the couples themselves so that it can just be used in the household as a gift. So to start, I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting the squares to fit on the tops of all these. And one of you commented that you use decorative shears to cut the cloth, which I thought was such a good idea. I don't know why I had never tried that. And I do have decorative shears, but I don't know if mine are good enough quality to cut this fabric. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the scissors that I had been using. But if you have really nice decorative shears and you wanna cut out some fabric with a decorative edge, absolutely go for it, because I think that that is just such a good idea. I learn a lot from you guys every time that I post a video, which I genuinely and honestly appreciate so much, because I am still learning and just trying to do things as I go. Okay, so then basically if you cut the square out and hold it down really tight over your jar, you can then take one of your bands and screw it right on top and make a decorative piece of fabric. Now, I can already tell that that square is not big enough, so I might use that on another one of those jars, but it's all personal preference of how far you want it to hang down over the jar. If you like it shorter, that's no problem at all, but I do tend to like mine to be a little bit more elongated on the sides than that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut out another square. And I got this entire package of fabric at Walmart. There was multiple pieces of it for like $6. So you don't have to go crazy and spend a bunch of money on fabrics, and you get quite a bit of versatility in one package of these. It's throwing me off because the wide mouth jars they're like very symmetrical, and then these kind of divot down. So I am gonna go ahead and leave it a little bit longer than I usually would, just because I think that that looks a little bit better on the jar. So then after we get the fabric on top, you are more than welcome to just leave it like this. But I did go ahead and get some, you know, just different decorative ribbons and things. So I'm gonna start decorating these up and putting a ribbon just basically on the top of the band. And then I'm gonna try and tie a cute bow on the side of this. And then after you get it tied, basically what I do is I just come around and lift up the edges so that all the silver part is covered. And look at that, isn't that cute? I have really been liking the ribbon that has kind of the stiffer sides, because it kind of allows you to shape the bows, even if you're not good at tying them, which I am not, but you can kind of maneuver them around to make them look a little bit prettier. So this is the brownie mix in the jar, and that one is all done. And then I'm just gonna keep doing the exact same thing. I'm just going to cut the square for the top and decorate every single one of these jars, and I will show you what each of them look like individually as I get them done. Okay, so I got all of the jars decorated. Now, I was having a really hard time putting ribbon on these because of how small the jars are. So I basically just cut squares and put bows on every single one of them, except for the brownie in the jar one. And they all came out super cute. I did go ahead and leave the fabric just a little bit longer. So I will show you what all of those are looking like with our previous ones, because I still have them upstairs. I haven't moved them downstairs yet. But I also wanted to do some reindeer chow in a jar. But then I got to thinking that's probably more of a gift that we make, you know, maybe a couple days before we go to gift it out, because the puppy chow is in it, and I didn't want the puppy chow to be sitting in the jar before we gifted it out for 30 days. So that's also another really good idea. You can do like a mixed treat in a jar. You could do trail mix. You could do like pretzels, Hershey Kisses, chocolate chips, puppy chow, and combine it, mix it, do it separately. Popcorn is another really good one. You can get really, really creative and fancy with just very simple snack items combined in a jar as a holiday gift. So that is also something that I want to do, and I will show you guys how to do that as we move closer to Christmas. So 2 exciting things. I am going to be taking you guys to our new house to give you an update. It's been just a couple days since I've been over there, and I cannot wait to show you how far they have gotten. So stay tuned for that because it is incredibly, incredibly exciting. And then a couple days ago, my neighbor let me know that she is going to be moving, which I'm very sad about because my neighbor is one of my best friends. And she's moving to Michigan, but she came over here and told me that all 9 of her chickens are needing a new home. Now, I have helped my friend every year hatch out many chickens, and a lot of the chickens that she has right now, I was a part of helping with, and I would go over, every day and see them. And whenever she was gone, I would take care of them for her, and I still do. So we are going to be getting the chickens from her. I ordered a really, really nice coop off of Amazon. It is going to be here in about 7 days. And then as soon as it gets here, my husband and I are going to set it up and bring all of the girls over here. And I'm so incredibly excited. I went over the past several days and just seen them and hung out with them. And it's not the most ideal timing because I was originally not planning on getting chickens until next spring. For those of you that have been watching, you know I have an entire designated area of our property that I was going to devote to chickens and some goats that me and my daughter want to get. But with it being so convenient and me not having to pay for them or hatch them out, the girls that I am getting are all a year old. So they are, at the mature age to where they have been laying or will start laying very soon. So they are all going to be staying with me at my house currently, and then come next spring, we will be moving them to the new property. So I'm really excited for you guys to see them and me to get to share chicken content with you. I've never had chickens before, so it's a total new learning curve for me. I can't wait to be part of the Crazy Chicken Lady Club because I know a lot of you enjoy having them, and just in the amounts of times that I've went over and helped my friend hatch out the chicks and seen the girls the past several days, I know that me and my daughter are going to absolutely love having them here. So really, really exciting. Like I said, I can't wait to show you all of the cool things that are going to come with that. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys some updates. Everything here is done with the gifts. I'm going to take these over to my counter, give you guys a run through of everything that I have done so far. And then we will do the gift boxes and baskets and all of that stuff together too. It's just life has been a little bit crazy. So forgive me for not being as well structured for this video as I would like to be, but we will get there all in due time. Nothing is pressing, nothing is in a rush. And like I said, you still have tons of time to make homemade, handmade gifts. So I hope this video brings you some inspiration. So let's go put all of this stuff together and look at them all. And then the next step is to show you guys my husband and I's new house. Okay, so here is everything together. And then I also have 4 more of the cranberry sriracha pepper jelly and blueberry jalapeno jams downstairs. So technically we have 4 more homemade gifts to add to this. So these are the cookies in the jar. We have the brownies in the jar. We have the peach infused vodkas. We have the homemade body scrubs. We have the jams and pepper jellies. And then we have some of the banana peppers and chili crisp in a jar. So this is a beautiful start to the homemade DIY holiday gift series. I absolutely love how all of these have turned out, and I cannot wait to add more to the collection of all of these things with you guys to hand out for Christmas. So I just wanted to give you guys an overview of what all of these are looking like together. They look absolutely stunning. So I will see you guys at the new house. Okay guys, so we made it down to the house, and first impressions is our basement is absolutely massive, huge. My husband is going to be gracious enough to give you guys a full tour and explanation, but it is legitimately like a castle down here. We're both very excited to have all of the extra room, but it is important to note that we will not be finishing the basement right off the bat. So everything that we show you guys, except for maybe a couple rooms like my pantry and his gun room, will be finished later on whenever the upstairs and everything is completely done. So we will mostly just be living upstairs and finishing the basement as we go, but we did want them to go ahead and frame the basement in because we do not have a door down here, and my husband will explain that in a little bit throughout the tour, but we don't have a way to get materials and things down here other than just the steps that come down from the upstairs. So we did want to make sure that everything was already ready for us to go so that whenever we do decide to start working on the basement, that at least the framing portion is done. And I really like that we've done that, actually. It's really nice. And it'll be really convenient for my husband and father-in-law to, you know, just do weekend projects together or do that a little bit at a time, so.
Yeah, and then I was just gonna add in too, so another reason we initially decided to not finish the basement was cost. So as we moved along and talked with our builder about the cost of things, kind of got into it, it was like, you know, well, hey, we could frame up the whole rest of the basement in one day, you know, and initially it didn't put us out of budget to at least have it framed up. And then, you know, you start talking about your basement. Well, so your basement walls, you lose a lot of heat out in the winter if they're not insulated. So that was another thing too. It was like, well, hey, if the outside walls are framed up, ready to go, then I can go ahead and insulate them, and then that's going to save a lot on our costs for our heating and cooling bills too.
Yeah, for sure. And the cost wasn't, what was it, like it was $2,200 basically extra to frame up the entire basement. And
to finish, based on what they had left to do,
yeah,
because they were going to have there's support walls down here obviously, so they were going to do those regardless. So it's not like there was a lot of walls left to do.
But we thought that the cost was going to be substantially higher to go ahead and do this, but it actually wasn't. And our builder did mention that a lot of people are just going ahead and framing up their basements now as opposed to later, because if you're somebody like us that doesn't have an entryway into your basement other than the egress windows, it's very difficult for people to get down here and do that work. So I would say we are both very happy that we went ahead and decided to do that, and then it's already ready for us in the future whenever we decide to move forward on the finishings. So, but yeah, first look at it, it's incredible and everything that we've ever wanted or worked hard for. So I'm going to let my husband take over and give you guys a full tour of everything that is down here and all the rooms and all of the different things so that you guys can get a good view and understanding of what all of this is going to look like finished.
This is going to be wall or railing, potentially when you walk in from the front of the house, you get your front door. I believe we designed a wall, but I mean, I think really we could change it if you wanted railing across there. Definitely it's going to be railing across that side of it, the right side of this at the top there. Our stairs wrap around here, so you would come downstairs from this left side here. So you walk down, there's going to be a set of stairs to walk down this from upstairs. There'll be a platform, you turn, and then you got your second set of stairs come down here. When we walk in, hallway, this will be open. This will be a 46-inch wide opening. No door, just a toenailed in header, wide enough for, you know, couch or safe or deep freezes, whatever we're trying to bring down here, bring in here. This will be open. If you come to the left here, this will be underneath the first set of stairs coming down from up top. So this will actually be, there'll be storage here. We got to decide if we want a door. So you got extra storage here. That's great. We're trying our hardest to make sure we're not wasting any space. You step in here. This is going to be our furnace room. So you're draining in the middle of the floor. You got your water incoming. Septic goes down to the floor. Furnace will sit somewhere, probably in one of these corners, depending on what you and I and Seth agree on. And then you obviously have your water coming in. So we're doing a on-demand hot water system. So that box will be on the wall somewhere in here, close to the furnace. And then, yeah, so that's probably not gonna take up very much room in this room. So you're gonna have quite a bit of storage down here too. Just extra storage. And then come back out this way. So remember, this is an opening, it's just not done, but that is our only initial doorway entrance into the common area, the living room of the basement. And we'll continue moving this way. So down this hallway, turn right. This is going to be Kenzie's pantry.
Do you know how big it is?
I can't remember the exact dimensions on this. Actually, it's because we never got exact dimensions on this. So what Josh did, Josh is our designer with the lumberyard, he just split the two rooms separately. So whatever space was left here, we just split them so they're equal in size. So we originally designed with her floor to ceiling shelves around this entire room. Kenzie does a lot of canning. We planned this from day one when we started 2 years ago, and that's what she's wanted, and that's what she's getting. So depending on the dimensions, I'm gonna build her shelving around this entire room. Maybe it's gonna be 2 feet wide. I don't know, it depends on what you want, really. 2 feet wide, and then from floor to ceiling, and we can kind of design the shelves however she wants them. If she wants a break in one, or if she wants one taller or shorter. They will be pretty permanent. We'll get some good pretty lumber and get them in here and get them stained and polyurethane. But yeah, so they'll wrap around the entire perimeter however much she wants, or what she wants in here, and then you have all kinds of room for again, more storage or pantry items, or a table. If there's projects you want to do down here, you're going to have room to do that. So
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
So that's this room. Go down here. Something we didn't think about was the use of this hallway. This doorway is right here. I think maybe we originally had that doorway at the end down here, but then we had the septic coming in the floor, so we redesigned it, put the doors kind of back to back here. So we do have a little bit of wasted space down here, as far as like this. So there's all kinds of ideas and options that we have that we could utilize this little corner for. And if we don't, we got plenty of storage, so if we don't really care about it, we don't care about it. But we can always, build a wall across here and put a door, make another little storage room.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You can just leave it open and have, maybe like a table and some more photos, and just make it a cool little area. So yeah, depending on what we want to do with that, but take it right in here. And this is going to be my hunting/gun room. We originally planned on maybe doing like a built-in safe or something. We didn't end up doing that because we're on budget and that gets pretty pricey. So yeah.
Do you know the dimensions of this room?
I do not. These two rooms are exactly equal. So whatever this one is, that one is too. It's the exact same size. So to the bottom of the floor joist is 8.5 feet. Actually, it's 8 feet 7 inches. So depending on how our plumber is able to hang the ductwork in here, or across the main room, we'll factor in kind of where the sheetrock's gonna go if we're gonna do like a drop-down ceiling. I'm not a really big fan of drop-down ceilings. I'd like to actually sheetrock everything. I think it just looks nicer. Yeah, no, so this room came out good. We'll have a safe, and we'll have my guns and bows and anything extra that we can't fit in the safe on the walls. I'll be able to keep my totes with my hunting gear in here. It'll just be a really nice area for me in the mornings when I get up to go hunting, to just walk down in the nice warm basement and pick my tote out. That's for turkey season or deer season, and have all that washed and with, you know, the non-scented soap and ready to go for hunting season. So that'd be nice. Have that, get all your gear, and you're walking out in the garage and you're in your vehicle and you're gone. So
That is going to be super convenient for you.
yeah, that's gonna be a nice area. Let's come back here. So again, you're gonna have, these 2x4s will be gone. This will be a 46-inch wide doorway, just a vaulted open walkway there. This comes into our great room. This will be our family room, movie room, you know, whatever you want to call it. I would say down here is probably kind of where we just designed how everything's set up with. But we you know, we don't know exactly what we're gonna do yet. But
We talked about doing like a movie theater.
we did, yeah. And you could always, I mean, there's so much room down here. You could literally frame across here, frame up another room, and just do a movie theater room down here in this corner. Yeah, there's plenty of room. We could have a pool table. You have room for a pool table, you know, ping pong table, activities, you know, whatever you want to do. But yeah, we knew that we wanted a nice wide open area.
Yeah.
For kids to play, for, you know, holidays, for cousins,
For family.
family to sit around, hang out. So that's what we got. And it's huge,
Massive.
We changed the plans over 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
You know, just due to prices of everything, and we got smaller and smaller as far as the height and the size of the house, and then we got down to this, which, you know, put it more in our price range. But I don't think we understood exactly the length of this basement is still massive. So for those of you, you know, building houses, this is something to think about. You know, you think you're getting smaller, and it's like, oh, you know, building this brand new house is going to be too small, and we're not going to enjoy it. Well, this is a 72-foot long basement, and this is more room than you could ever freaking ask for.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna have 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms when this house is all said and done. So, and again, this is ranch style. We're gonna have vaulted ceilings in the living room and kitchen area upstairs, and it's beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful, and it's gonna be more than you would ever need, you know. So
Yeah, exactly.
coming this way, so you got bedroom number 4. We'll call this bedroom number 4. 3 bedrooms upstairs. So we got master bedroom, and then right here is the first spare bedroom, second spare bedroom. So that's 1, 2, 3. We'll call this bedroom number 4. Egress window. Come in here. These we designed not to be huge, you know, for
Just spares.
spares, you know, for family or whatever the situations we got going on, you know. So I will have to build a closet in these, and we'll have to kind of figure out how we're gonna do that. So yeah, bedroom number 4.
Nice to have the little extra ones down here, though.
Yeah, and that's our fire escape for down here too. So that was our way out. We're up on a hill here. And it just wasn't, we talked about a walkout basement, and we thought it would be, you know, fantastic and awesome. We have one now, and most houses that we grew up in had walkout basements, but it just did not really fit the layout up here. So
Agreed.
that is why we didn't do it. This is bathroom number 3, full bath number 3. So you got you'll walk in, you have your stand-up shower, tub, toilet, and then your sink here. So this is a fantastic size bathroom. It's
Yeah,
huge.
it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Massive.
You know, a lot of this in the basement will probably finish years to come. My dad and I do a lot of carpentry, so we'll work on that together. It'll give us some things to do and some bonding time. Walk further down. So this is hallway number 2 in the basement. Walk in here. This is the other second spare bedroom in the basement. Again, egress windows. Not a huge space, but, you know, a nice space. So we'll build in some sort of closet area. You know, it doesn't have to be huge. You know, in one of these corners, probably stay away from the windows a little bit, but choose something, and then you know, we'll just have you know, beds, maybe a bed in each one, and a dresser, and a TV or something. Yeah, simple, but it's definitely a space that we wanted to utilize, so those are nice. If you follow me back down the rest of the hallway here, in here we have just kind of a layover area. We were originally not gonna have this hallway coming down here. So this was just gonna be an L-shaped opened area that was gonna come out here into the great room. We have so much freaking room out here that when Josh and I were designing this, and Kinsey as well, we were like, you know, we talk about storage, you know, where everybody always has crap. You know, you fill up a house, whether it's 1,200 square feet or 2,400 square feet, people always talk about not being able to have enough, you know, enough room, enough area. Yeah, we kind of designed that hallway off of the basis that we needed more storage, and then also, since we knew where we wanted all our rooms, this center wall now became our support for the house. So this is our load-bearing wall, goes all the way down. So that was also a factor, so that helped get the support as far over here as we could. And then I believe this north-south wall and this north-south wall are also the really heavy load-bearing walls down here. This is Kinsey and I's first time down here checking this out. Just got framed up about 2 or 3 days ago, and this is the first time we were able to make it down to see it in the daylight. So we're super excited and ready to get the rest of the house done and be able to utilize this freaking area. It's awesome.
This massive castle.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Guys, so don't mind my attire. I am actually on my lunch break at the moment, but I was doing some editing and I realized I did not film an outro for you guys. So I hope you all enjoyed the tour that my husband was gracious enough to offer. He is incredibly knowledgeable about all of that stuff. I cover all of the painting and drywall fixes, but he is more knowledgeable about the mechanics of everything and just step-by-step what everything is supposed to be. So that is awesome that he was able to kind of go over that with you all and fill in the areas where I am not as knowledgeable on. So I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I am so incredibly excited for the house to get done and to take you guys along with on all of the progress and show you the pantry whenever it's finished, and my kitchen, and we'll get to do all of the gardening projects next spring. There are just so many crazy things happening in our lives right now, but they're all so incredibly exciting, and I cannot wait to take you guys along on the ride. So also, as I'm talking and got home for lunch, the chicken coop is now here. Next video, we will probably get that set up and get the girls over here so you guys can see them all. If you guys have any good, cool, unique chicken names, comment them down below. I'm interested to know what you guys have come up with over the years or what you think would be cute. And then I also just wanted to tell you guys to have an amazing Thanksgiving. I will have another video come out after the holidays are over. So this is me wishing you all the most amazing Thanksgiving. I hope you guys get to enjoy a bunch of food and also enjoy spending time with your friends and family. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Have an amazing rest of your week, and I will see you guys in the next video.